Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data, and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop, whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop, your favorite late in life daddy. He puts the dad in daddy. It's Chris Franjola, former model turned stand-up comic, devoted husband and father. What are you doing for Valentine's Day, Chris?
Oh, Valentine's Day. I'll be at the Irvine Improv first, Thursday. Okay. That's Thursday.
The 13th.
February 13th.
Valentine's Day Eve.
So, yeah, come on out. Nobody wants to go out on a real, that's like, nobody goes to restaurants on the real day.
No, you want to go to shows. You want to go shows.
Yeah. And then I go to Rava Wines. It's a winery up in Paso Robles. I'll be there Saturday, February 15th.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so
15th.
if your partner, man, woman, whatever, has not planned a beautiful weekend here in the where is Paso?
Paso Robles is about 3 hours from here.
It's just
up
a
in
little
wine
further
country.
than Santa Barbara.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, up. Gorgeous part of the country.
Go see Chris on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday night. Rava
15th.
Wines.
I will be in New York City. You know, when I was out to dinner last night. This guy comes up and he's like, "What do you do?" This person we know, and I said, "Oh, I'll be. I can't go to the event at the club or whatever that we're at, our country club." I said, "Because I'll be in New York." Oh, good luck. It's so cold. I'm like, all right. You know what? I'm going. I'm going, and the people are going.
People act like you're going to be walking across the frozen tundra.
I'm not doing Times Square. I'm going to be in Times Square at the Palladium, but we are not watching the ball drop.
You're running from the car
there's
into
jackets. Yeah. It will be doing that. New Year, Valentine's Day Friday, then DC Saturday the 15th, and then Red Bank the 16th.
Oh, so a whole fun Valentine's weekend.
Yes.
Galentine's,
Valentine's, whatever you want to call it. Yes. So come, depending on where you are, either see me or Chris.
Yeah.
But
East Coast and West Coast. We got it covered.
We got it covered. We got it covered with cover to cover host Chris Franjola.
Here we are.
Chris, I went to Fire
I saw
last
on
week,
Instagram.
Thursday.
How was that? You went to the big concert down there at the all new arena.
So I love it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't believe that we have something new and clean in LA.
It's a beautiful new.
So, Peter's good about buying like concert tickets and stuff like that. So he was like, "Would you want to go to this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And so we went and we get there. I didn't understand that there were two shows going on.
Two separate venues. You had the Forum and you had where you guys saw yours. The
Intuit.
Intuit. Yeah.
Well, it's spelled like Intuit.
Intuit. INTU. It's like a tax thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like, I'm into it. Anyway.
It kind of sounds like that.
So, so we got there and, it was great seeing lots of people brought their teenagers and stuff. And it was cool. And every seat is nice and everything is very luxurious and clean and nice. So, the tickets were very expensive, which is good. Like they said they made over $100 million.
Oh, good.
And a lot of like billionaires matched it and all this other stuff. So that was all good. But I didn't understand that this other show started, I guess, at like 5. Because,
seems to be,
because when I got there, our show was starting at 7:30 or whatever. And then I was like, "Oh, wait, it's already starting." He goes, "No, that's the other show." So then as we were sitting, while they were changing artists, we would watch the other show.
Okay.
So like Stevie Nicks and Red Hot Chili Peppers were at the other show.
Okay.
And my show had Billie Eilish and it had Olivia Rodriguez,
Katy Perry,
the Grace girl, Gracie Adams, who is J.J. Abrams' daughter.
J.J. Abrams.
Abrams.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' daughter.
Right.
And she's beautiful.
She was excellent.
And all those girls are LA-born Nepo babies that have grown up to be beautiful, successful, really talented artists. And it's just, I was like, looking at the Gracie girl, I'm like, her body's banging, but she had like dark like, I was like, all these girls are looking like very low key, clean cut now.
Okay.
Like these new girls.
Yeah.
Like even Olivia Rodrigo, like she had a sexy little outfit on, but it was still like freshly washed hair. Like it was like these girls were like who you want your daughter to grow up to be,
well, it depends on who you are.
Yeah. And so she's running. So they were all great. Excellent.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because I felt like I watched it and I felt like the applause from people was the biggest when you had like a Gracie Abrams and things like, and I'm like, oh, I'm just so out of it. Because then Rod Stewart comes on and it felt like the audience was like, who's this old time? Like Crosby.
Because like a lot of people brought their teenagers.
Yeah.
But it was kind of fun because, because then they would sing along, but they were like, you'd hear it all around. And the girls were pretty good singers. So I was like, I kind of enjoyed like the sing along.
Oh, good.
And then Katy Perry was there. And then we looked in. So Peter's like, look. And there was this guy, like probably a 35-year-old guy, and this really attractive model-looking girl. And they had 2 rows for themselves and a security guard. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm imagining the whole thing. I'm like, no, this guy has a lot of money and they don't need security, but he's showing her like, when we go to something, we're going to have private security. I'm going to buy all the seats around so you don't have to sit next to a stranger. Because meanwhile, I was sitting next to a guy like coughing with a mask on it. Like I was like, Peter, look at that guy got all the seats for his girl, and they're like, she's like 23, whatever. So I'm imagining the whole backstory of how they met.
So you never found out who it was?
No, I did. It was Katy Perry. Katy Perry sat down and then all her people came and they were saving the rows for her.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, but so I was like, oh, this isn't like, I'm thinking like sugar baby. How did she meet him? What if this is all a scam? He's an LA grifter. Right. What if he didn't even pay for these tickets? Like I'm going through the whole thing. And then it was just Katy. And
Katy Perry's uncle.
She was very sweet. Sat down. Little girls came behind her. She took photos. She was very gracious and cute, And so, and whoever these other kids were with her, I don't know if they were the agent's kids or whatever, these teenagers, but it was going long. It was going on.
That's the problem when you go. I go to a lot of those concerts where it's a lot of different acts.
Yeah.
And, you see every now and again, they'll pop in one you like, but then you got to wait a while to get to the others.
These moved, and then in between were like the stories.
Yeah.
And every person they had that was just a regular person, I was kind of shocked that they could get up and speak so eloquently. I'm like, did they do a little bit of an audition? Because I'm like, not one person, and these people were just like, I'm a teacher, or I'm not. I mean, even a teacher has to stand up in front of people and probably has good speaking skills. Right. But like another person was just like, I take care of my like sick parents, and and this kid is just standing in front and like being funny and like. Like you would have thought it was Billy Crystal. I'm like, how did they? Is this really what? Maybe this is the magic of LA. Like everybody is pretty. Great.
It's funny. As I watched it, I thought the same thing. I'm like, these people are composing themselves pretty well for being in front of a a big crowd and
they've just been through the
and,
most traumatic thing of their life, and they're like,
maybe those people backstage who were stumbling. Like, get out of here!
Like we're going to cut short. We feel like you're not strong enough. No, because everybody they had was like really great. So that was really cool. And then. Loved the Billie. I mean, I love Billie Eilish. I love a brother-sister situation.
And they're both very good.
And I just realized every time I saw their mom, why something was like, I know she was an actress, but something was coming to me like, why? She was at the Groundlings like a little ahead of me.
Oh, Billie Eilish's mom?
Yes. She was.
Really?
She was a regular member and teacher.
Oh, really?
And so all of a sudden I started to see like the boards of like, because if you walk into this sketch theater that I used to do, the Groundlings, they'd have black and white photos of past sketches.
Right.
And they would never take them down. So it's like you would see ones with, all the greats or whatever from SNL. And I remember seeing her like doing like a sketch. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I started looking up all this stuff and I'm like, they homeschooled the kids. She homeschooled her kids. Because she was just like, and she has a huge musical background too.
Right.
As well as like going the comedy route, but then also like wrote a movie. So I don't know. I just think that whole thing is just like so impressive.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, she goes the other direction because everybody, at least we'll talk about the Grammys in a second, but I feel like everybody was like, just a bodysuit or naked.
Yes.
But not Billie Eilish just goes with big giant pants. giant pants.
Well, that's her
giant
thing
shirt.
right now, and she has such a beautiful face. And then it's just so sweet to like see the brother like playing guitar, and then and then she's like to him, and he's like, "No, it's you." And I'm like, I don't know, to anybody that has more than one kid, it's like your dream,
right?
That your kids would like
get along.
that they get along and like each other, and no one seems to be jealous or like, yeah, I'll be the guitar player and you could be the star. Like we all know his name's Phineas, but it's like Phineas isn't.
No,
I don't know. Everything about it is so great.
I don't know if you noticed what they do in those type of concerts is they basically put the people on what is kind of a lazy Susan.
Right, they turn them.
Yes, and they turn them. So you do 3 songs, that's kind of a good thing. You don't have to go through the new material. No, because hit them with the hits.
And we got to see Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
So he did like his one hit, and then he did a cover of I can't remember some like Hollywood Rocks, and he had Travis Barker.
He did Bob Seger, Hollywood Nights.
Yeah, Hollywood Nights, and oh my God, and he had Travis Barker do the drums. And that was just perfect.
Yeah.
So it's like, everyone knows his one song, and then you do a cover. A lot of them did covers.
A lot of them did covers.
And I thought that was real, like hot, like LA iconic covers. And that was cool.
That was cool. But then at one point, they moved the Lazy Susan on Stevie Nicks. And I don't think they told her it was going to be a roll. She almost, I was like, oh no, she stopped. She just finished Landslide. Everyone's all into it. And they just start moving it. Oh, you got to move on here, honey. Yeah. Let's go. Brace yourself.
I remember that being like, oh my God, that would freak me out. Okay, so we get to the Grammys. Now, I had predicted, and thank you to everybody who alerted me to this.
I remember I was going to text you. I was like, your prediction has come true.
I said there's going to be a time where it's going to be full vag on. First, I said it'd be vag cleavage, which we've had, right? Which is just the groin,
like a little hole there,
like between your thigh and the top of your pussy. It's like there's a little like cleavage. There's a lot of that's been going on in the last few years.
Okay, and
then now full vag, thanks to Kanye's coercive control over Bianca Censori or not. I've always been saying, is she 100% in on it? Is she getting paid per month to do this? Is she? What do
you think?
I mean, I go back and forth. At this point, they had a lip reader on, who said that he said right before she took off the jacket, "Time to make a scene."
Oh,
and then she had to take it off.
Yeah,
and so she was completely naked.
She had like a mink coat on or something.
Yeah, she has a hairless pee.
Yeah.
And so that's hairless. And so, and then just a sheer dress. I mean, a sheer mini dress. I mean, she's 100% naked.
Right.
I'm kind of surprised that like Instagram let me keep this photo up.
I know there was a lot, like even something like the New York Times had like
the little
this
black
picture
bar
up.
or
no.
Yeah. And I guess they weren't invited to start. They were asked to leave. And again, though, I don't. No, like there's times where I'm like, this is so terrible. And then I'm like, then there's the other side of like, well, we were born nude, cavemen were nude, nudists.
Yeah, it didn't bother me too much.
Maybe she's just like, no, I mean, but maybe it's not bothering her is what I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe she's like, but then it's also really weird because like, first of all, she has an incredible body.
She can pull it off.
Look to be real.
They do.
She has a great face. But eventually, the way she met him is she had like a real education and a real job.
She was like an interior designer or something.
Yeah, like an architectural designer or something. So I'm like, did you ever want to even be like famous or a model? Like, because you weren't really going down that route as like a young adult. Right. So like now you're like one of the most famous people walking around because you're with this guy. And it's because you are wearing these outlandish naked things. Yeah. Like, what is the end goal?
I mean, I think that's what, I mean, at this point, like spin her off into a record or something. Like, why not just let her, she could muddle through some, song, I think. Like, she's not being an actress. She's not being.
No, like, because I don't think he wants that.
Well,
I don't think he wants it to be that she's just, I'm just hoping that there's some type of, because they say that they are married, but they're not legally married. I just hope there's some big financial situation that when she does decide to leave or he dumps her or whatever, or her boobs drop, because I'm sorry, I don't care all the plastic surgery in the world, like you're not going to be doing, look at Angeline, okay? It doesn't last forever. Like, are you going to really you're going to definitely need that nylons then. But what is the financial plan? Like, do you have homes in your name?
How old is she? Is she 22 or is she 38?
No, she's like 30.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, she's still young. She still can have a lot of years to go naked.
Right.
But I'm just, I don't know. Like, you're going to get tired of it. You're going to get cold.
Right.
You're going to go this isn't as fun as I thought.
Right.
I mean, it's just like.
But also, the funny thing was, this is not the first time. Like, she's in this outfit at Cheesecake Factory. You know what I mean? So it's not like we were shocked by it.
This was full naked.
I know, but still, it felt like we've all seen it.
Yeah, and then he stopped following everybody but Taylor Swift. I mean, it's all just to get press or whatever. But they said this could affect this $20 million, these $20 million type shows, or maybe altogether it's $20 million that he's supposed to be doing in Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
And
could affect it in what way?
Like a morality thing, or they don't like it, or they might cancel it, or whatever. Which they live like half their time in Japan, and I mean, I just got to think Kim just being like,
yeah.
I mean, everybody should look at it and just go, just know who you choose to have kids with. Right. Yes, her kids are beautiful and they're geniuses and everything, but just think about who you want to deal with for the rest of your life. And if they are, we knew he was weird when she married him. We didn't think he was this weird, but we knew he was a little weird.
Yeah. When he was,
and we wanted to believe that, when he asked her to marry him, and will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful, which I think was the perfect song for them. Yeah. Then he gets a lookalike. Yeah. I mean, she looks so much like Kim.
I know.
It's just
a couple of the red flags, just like the design aesthetic alone. Like, we had a comfortable couch? No, cement. Like everything was like cement and just no stark walls. And
I remember buying a baby gift for Kim after North was born, and we knew it was cream, black, or beige was the only item you could buy for her.
So what'd you get her?
I got a Burberry onesie from Neiman's.
Nice.
Cream with just the Burberry collar.
I had a child. I didn't get that. Would have been nice.
I got you a pink Target thing where 5 came in one set.
We loved it. We loved it. That's all we need. We're simple people.
Yeah. So, and then I'm like, well, eventually this North is going to say, I want to wear my own clothes, and she does. Yeah. But it's like Kim went along with all of that.
Yeah.
And Kim wasn't like that. Like, she did like flashy colored,
she does her own thing.
Now she does her own thing
now. She's always crawling around on the floor and like videos and stuff too, right?
We never talked about that.
That was like a video.
Remember this? What did you think of this Santa video that she did?
Yeah, she was like in a paneled basement somewhere crawling around.
Santa baby, where she's acting like she was in Clockwork Orange. Yeah. And what was the point of that? That really didn't get much buzz either way. It
just kind of came in. Well, it was a holiday thing, so once the holidays were over, it was the end of it.
Yeah, but again, nobody knew the point of that. No. Were you trying to shock?
Wasn't it for a clothing line or something? I thought it was an artist or a clothing designer.
Skims?
Somebody else, some photographer or,
And it was like done like old with the old scratchy, like a scratchy record. And like, it was Clockwork Orange. Like that's old movie, look it up. It was that kind of like noir. And weird people in it. And it just kind of flopped and she just moved along. Like she was like, I guess she was just like, they're definitely like throwing enough shit against the wall, see what sticks kind of people. And that didn't really stick and nobody really cared. And everyone was like, this is weird and shocking, but also people didn't even care enough to be like outraged. Right. They're like, whatever.
I mean, to be honest, the Grammys was good, but this is all anybody talked about. So they're right. Mission accomplished. They did what they wanted to do.
Totally. I mean, the Grammys were fun. Someone brought this out, a juicy scooper, Diane sent this to me. That this is 20 years ago. This is Gina Davis. She wore a long sleeve dress, and she was naked underneath it too. But it was definitely not as visible
And also the one girl years ago, I forget what was her name. She was Marilyn Manson. She was completely nude at I think it was the VMAs though, the Video Music Awards.
And she was with Marilyn Manson. So that was another thing. This is not an original idea.
I know.
To bring your girlfriend and have her be naked on the red carpet. And then this is his bodysuit that someone said they saw a face in there. And it looks like a weird screaming, like weird face. Like you remember, like when people would say, like, I made a piece of toast and it's Jesus. And so anyway, then she wore this sheer bodysuit out for the after party.
And that's why I think she's kind of in on it, because at the after party, she was doing karaoke. She was having fun.
They seemed very loving and fun.
Right.
And I think she just doesn't really care. I think she's fine being naked. I think she's like, maybe she's like, hey, I'm not going to have this body forever. Like, let's fuck with some people. Let's have some fun. Maybe she's having a blast with it.
I'm all right with it. And also, I don't know if this is true. I mean, she is Australian, right? So maybe they're a little bit looser over there with things like this.
I thought Australia was the more conservative of the countries.
Maybe that could be true. I don't know.
So guys, I've been using Lumi for a while and I absolutely love it. It's the all over body deodorant. And what's so great is you don't just sweat under your pits. I'm a big under the boob sweater. I mean, there's places all over that, if you're a single person and you're a little nervous about a date, you want to make sure you're not sweating in places that shouldn't be sweating. And that's what I love, because Lumi is so unique and different than any other deodorant. It's created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated, and it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor up to 72 hours. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our Juicy Scoopers, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code, and if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals to over 40% off their starter pack. Use code JUICY for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code JUICY at LumiDeodorant.com. Please support Juicy Scoop and tell them I sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi. We always hear about finance bros and guys, doing the stock market. And sometimes us girls feel a little inadequate. Like we don't really understand it. We don't really have a strong interest in it, but we should. And that's what I love about Acorns. For example, here's a fact that may not surprise you. 66% of men are investing in the stock market compared to just 48% of women. Here's another one that won't surprise you either. Multiple studies have shown that women are better investors than men. Why? Because men are overconfident and women actually do their research. The good news is that Acorns makes it so easy for everyone to start investing. Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with spare money that you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. Sign up now and join over 13 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $22 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/juicyscoop or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/juicyscoop. Let's face it, weight loss can feel overwhelming. That's why Hers is changing the game by providing access to GLP-1 medications plus expert care. They make your goals more achievable. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans, and it's delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections, featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medication kits. What I love about Hers is that this is a weight loss plan that is way more affordable, with compounded GLP-1 injections starting at $165 per month with a 12-month plan paid up front for new subscribers. No hidden fees and no membership fees. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/juicyscoop. That's hers.com/juicyscoop for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/juicyscoop. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. Anyway, then we had Willow and her brother Jaden Smith on the red carpet. She wore like a bikini with a long trench. And he wore a house on his head.
Yeah, like a house. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard from them in a while.
No.
So, the red table talk is done.
He's been trapped in his house. Couldn't even get out of it. Yeah. I don't even.
I wonder, who thought, okay, what is, this is what I want to know. Is what goes on when you're sitting around and you're like, okay, we're going to the Grammys. And no one's talking about you guys. You guys have to get your own shit going. You're older now, Jaden and Willow. Red table talk is done. No one cares that Will and I are whatever, open, but we're not getting divorced.
That's true. That all came and went.
It's all done. No one cared. The slap is over with.
The books that came out. And
so, no one cared about my book, my narcissistic book. So what are you guys going to do? Willow's like, I'll just wear a bikini. And then she sees that she should have gone naked. She's like, shit, I undershot it, right? Yeah. And then the other kid is like, I'll have the art department make me a black house to wear on my head.
Something from the set of Beetlejuice on top of my head.
And then, obviously, when he sat down, he had to take it off because no one could see.
Did you see Nikki Glaser's picture? Nikki Glaser was there because she was nominated for a comedy album, and she posted a picture on her Instagram.
He kept it on the whole time,
and she's got the picture. She's like, "Here was my seat at the Grammys," and he's got the thing on his head.
And she's like, "I'm looking through the master bedroom window."
Yeah. So
then we have Julia Fox, who also became famous for dating Kanye for a month.
But then she went on to say, which I don't know if this girl, Sensori, is the same way. Right. Didn't she go on to say that we never did anything?
She said
we never had sex or anything?
We never fucked.
Yeah.
We never had sex. From what I can tell from the after party when she's wearing the sheer bodysuit with Kanye's embedded face, whatever that is, it looks like a couple who is together.
Right.
So I think, yes, they are together.
It has been a little longer than
I think he wasn't really into Julia. And he was just kind of seeing can I piss off Kim or do something with this weird girl?
Right.
And she is weird.
How's she still going?
People love her.
She got shouted out by Charlie XCX at the end, like a big dance number. She went, "Happy birthday, Julia Fox." And
I just feel like Hollywood with their friends, these friendships are intense, but they're short-lived.
Yeah.
And they are somewhat clout chasing for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
The audience loves to know that you're good friends or you're no longer friends or you're partying or whatever. Right. And so she goes and she wears gloves. I said, maybe she wore those gloves to help clean up the fires in the Palisades because she's wearing yellow industrial dishwashing gloves. And then she's just got a G-string on and a sheer thing. And she's got a banging body too. So here's her bare ass. And it just must have been sort of embarrassing that you're thinking you're going to do this shocking naked thing. And then your ex-boyfriend brings a completely naked girl. Right. And you're like, well, at least Charlie X is going to shout me out. Yeah. I don't know. People like her personality and has a weird voice. I don't know what the point is.
I don't, but
but who cares? People like her.
She's still going. God bless everybody. And I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch it all the Grammys from I watched the whole thing. First of all, Trevor Noah was the host. I find him to be, he's just kind of a boring host. But maybe that's what you want, just don't get in the way.
Right. Don't do anything too controversial.
Every year they do the same thing.
Yeah.
With Taylor Swift and Beyonce. They go out there and they go, and everybody, Taylor Swift is here. Taylor Swift is here. Beyonce's here. They keep referencing it over and I'm like, well, of course they are. They're singers and it's the Grammy. Why wouldn't they be there? Why is it so shocking that Beyonce's there? She's nominated. She's there. I don't know. I feel like it would be if she was welding somewhere, that would be wait a minute, Beyonce is welding a house. Then be like, okay, that's shocking.
So she comes with her daughter who's 11, who looks like she's 38 and on her second divorce.
Yeah.
And looking great. She looks like I just came back.
Is she only 11?
Yes.
That's shocking. I didn't even know it was
maybe
her.
she's turned 12, but I swear
Yeah.
to God, she's not 13.
Wow.
And so, she's wearing a gown. I mean, they seriously look like they're two like high society girls that are like, yeah. So she comes and, Beyonce comes right before she wins it. And she does. She wins for country album. And then it's like, how is she not nominated for anything at the Country Music Awards?
Right.
Why? Or is it that people truly are afraid? Because for all those videos that everyone did where they had to thank Beyonce because she never won for Album of the Year until now.
Did.
And she won.
Right.
And then Taylor won nothing.
Taylor won nothing, but she doesn't need anything.
She's dancing around in her little red dress and seems to have a great time.
I felt like she was it was a little rude of her to be talking behind Trevor Noah was doing his monologue, and she was like chatting behind him. As a comedian, I found it to be a little
to
rude.
The people at her table.
Yeah,
or
it was a little rude that she wasn't letting him. But of course, she's got all eyes on her at all times.
So, as you know, I'm big on sports. So I don't know if you know, but the Super Bowl is this Sunday.
Sunday, oh yes.
And Taylor's boyfriend is back at it. He gets to
Travis
go.
Kelce.
He gets to go again.
Yeah, he's he's good. They're going for a three-peat. It could be the first time ever anyone's won 3 Super Bowls in a row. Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. So, of course, she's going.
Yeah.
Interestingly, no, I don't think she'll be bringing Blake and Ryan, which we'll get into a minute. Blake Lively and Ryan. She's going to leave those friends in the dust because they got stink on them.
But she also recently brought the basketball player girl too. The very famous, and I can't think of her name right now. It's not coming to me. It'll come to
Caitlin.
me today. Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
The female basketball player.
She had Caitlin Clark with her the last game.
Okay,
One of the playoff games. So
that's a good choice.
It is. It was a great choice.
You don't want to sit behind her
Caitlin
either.
Clark. The whole time, Caitlin Clark was a little bit like, I don't remember if she had that other girl, the little girl with the Orphan Annie haircut.
Orange Spice?
Yeah, it's Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Yeah, she had, and they all seem to be like, they're not keeping up as much as Taylor Swift is keeping up.
With watching the game.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're like, oh, are we supposed to cheer? And then it's a little late because Taylor Swift's going wild. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
So I'm always excited about it. And, but, it's the second year of Taylor being part of it and getting him to the Super Bowl. And so there is no engagement.
Mm-hmm.
There is no baby. This could be maybe the last Super Bowl. The Eras Tour is over. I don't know. I'm worried.
Worried that what? That it might be ending, or this will be people are saying this could be the day they get engaged, but I don't think they're cheesy enough for that. I don't think either one of them, they're too cool to do that, to be like on the field, on the knee. Like people have done this before. I believe one of the Houston Astros got engaged on the field after the World Series a few years ago. So yeah, I don't think they would do that.
I just like the two guys that coordinated doing the white chicks dance.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
When they showed them behind the scenes like planning it out, like in practice and like doing the flips and stuff. That made me very happy.
So what are you saying? It's over or it's just beginning?
I'm worried for a number of reasons.
Worried in what way?
I think
this could be the end?
So let's just think about Travis. Who I don't have a male brain, okay, but we all know this can only go one of two ways. Okay, it can go to getting married, having kids, getting divorced, having a comeback album, staying married forever, and great. No songs written about Travis. Or I get nervous when people past 30 date longer than a year and a half,
really,
without getting engaged.
Okay.
We just saw it happen with Paige and Craig of Southern Charm and Summer House. They broke up, and I feel like, I don't know, if he does not put a ring on it, I think it's because he doesn't want to.
Wow.
I think it's because he doesn't want to. He is having second thoughts. Listen, we've all dated somebody. I'm still married to one, the one that I dated, okay? Yeah. And it was fun to come to our shows.
Right.
In the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Thank God that's over. But you don't want that anymore, though.
He does, yeah. So it's like, he came a lot. Came a lot to her shows. And maybe that
You're talking about Peter or Travis Kelce?
Travis
Yeah.
came a lot to
Right.
her shows.
Yeah.
And he's got to really think about the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so the boy next door who's best friends with his brother and is so likable, and he has so many other things going on. And I do believe oftentimes men don't marry the one. They marry the one that's right at the right time.
Okay.
And they also sometimes get intimidated by women that are just, incredible like her. And maybe seeing all the stuff with Blake and Ryan and the power that they have and how the world has turned on Blake and Ryan and that she was one of the dragons and all of this. I don't know. Either, like I said, either there better be an engagement or a baby or a secret marriage that we didn't know about with it by like April, or 100% it is not going to last.
Right.
And that is my prediction. If they are not engaged or married by April.
Okay.
Or pregnant.
So you don't think it's going to happen?
It will not last. It will not go another year of them just
dating. There's not going to be another Super Bowl coming around.
No.
Okay.
One of them is going to say, forget it.
Now, do you think she'll be at the Super Bowl? Of course she's got to be there,
Of course
right?
she'll be there, yes.
I mean, you never know. Maybe she'll, I'll just stay home.
She's in the bleachers.
I don't want to take away your spotlight.
Well, what? She went last year.
I know, but that was last year. This year now, I'm
no,
not
if she didn't go, it would cause too much talk that they're broken up. So she will 100% go.
Good point.
100%
Now, they're
go.
also saying that she might appear in the halftime show. It's Kendrick Lamar, and there's talk that she might make an appearance.
That would be amazing, and I'm going to manifest that.
Okay.
Now, that would be exciting and fun.
She comes stomping out, doing one of her hits. Everybody would love it.
There won't be any engagement that happens like that night or something.
Right.
Oh, my God. But if they win and the podcast brother comes running out.
Jason Kelce.
Jason.
Yeah.
Comes running out as she's hugging and kissing him.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts his hand to hug his brother. And the brother hands him the ring. And then he gets on his knee.
I know. So I was just saying. I feel like that's
this
too
is Lifetime
cheesy.
movie,
Too cheesy.
I don't think it is. And I think she'd love it.
Really?
But there's no way she can say no. So you're putting her in a position where she cannot say no.
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
All right.
I love just talking it out.
So how do you feel about commercials for the Super Bowl? Did you see the Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan one?
No, but I love it. What's that about?
It's a Hellman's mayonnaise commercial, and they're
doing the diner of I'll have what she's
the
having.
orgasm scene.
Love it.
From When Harry Met Sally, almost like shot for shot, exactly. Okay. And then at the very end, I believe in the original one, it was Rob Reiner's mother who said, "I'll have what she's having," but it's Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney says, "I'll have what she's having."
The young actress?
The young actress,
with
Sydney
the big
Sweeney.
Boobs?
Yeah, but here's the thing. They pan to Sydney Sweeney to say it. And Sydney Sweeney's wearing like a brown turtleneck. She must be for a role. She's got darker hair.
Well, people were shocked by her body recently.
Because she's playing like a bodybuilder
She's playing a boxer or something. Yeah. And so she has like mousy brown hair, no makeup. And I mean, she's got different looks anyway. So unless she's all glammed up, she can look a little different.
Well, exactly. So they pan to her. And I think you're supposed to think immediately, like, I don't think the common person would be like immediately, oh, that's Sydney Sweeney. Her face is recognizable, not that recognizable, where you could just take one shot and be like, oh, it's Sydney Sweeney. And then secondly, the one thing we all know Sydney Sweeney for, then she's not showing it.
But it's not funny to have an actress who's like 32 doing it.
That's what I said.
No, you should have had Kelsey and the Kelsey mom do it.
Right.
That's who you should have had do it.
That's a better call.
Yes.
Call Hellman's right now, see if they can see.
Much better. And just have her go, I'll have what she's having.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so much better.
And then the two brothers go, Mom!
Whoa, wait a minute. This is 10 times better commercial. There's probably five.
No, wait. And then they pan up and they're doing a live podcast from the restaurant and they both look at each other and go, Mom!
Great. I love it. Yeah. But anyway, it is Sydney Sweeney. And the other thing is I don't like that they show the commercials now. You can see most of them
the whole point is like you sit back and watch it with your friends.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But Billy Crystal
let's talk about the other drama. Oscars. When are the Oscars? March 5th,
7th, something like that.
And there is a musical that has as many Oscar nods as Titanic.
Yes, it's
tied with Titanic and one other one, like All About Eve or something.
Yeah.
And This is the first trans woman to be nominated for Best Actress. And this is the musical, which I've only seen clips of.
I've seen it. I
like
watched it.
Penis to vagina, vagina to penis. And
That's a real song that's not a joke.
It's about a Colombian drug lord who...
Mexican
drug lord who obviously is a horrible person. He's a drug lord. He's killed people and gotten people on drugs. But wants to finally transition. You watched it. Does he want to transition because he's always been a woman, or to avoid getting caught, or both?
He felt like it's the only way he's ever felt happy. So
it's not to avoid being caught.
No, it's not to avoid being caught.
So a lawyer who is, what's her name?
Zoe Saldana.
Saldana is in charge of it too. So I guess she sings too.
Well, yes. Zoe Saldana, I'll give you a brief synopsis.
Yes, please, because you saw it.
I did. I watched it.
Now, did it keep your interest? Like, is it so bad it's good? Like, what is it?
I'll tell you this. To be honest, I was going in to hate it because that's what I had read. I did not hate it. I thought it was actually kind of okay, kind of pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of twists and turns that kept my interest.
Okay.
So I wasn't bored by it. It is it's not for everybody. You got to
sit back and accept that this is a storyline.
This movie is everything that everyone hates about Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
This is people are going to watch this movie and go, that's why it burned.
Right. That's why it burned down.
This is why.
This
movie, the penis and the goes here.
And if she wins over the other women, yes.
So,
but now she's in trouble.
Okay.
But finish the story. Finish the.
Zoe Saldana plays a lawyer who's not happy with her lawyer life. She's getting like scumbags off, and she's like, "What am I doing? These people are all criminals, and I'm getting them off, and I don't feel good about my life." She gets a phone call like, "Hey, you want to make money? I have an offer for you." And she meets this drug kingpin, more or less like the head of the cartel.
And does this woman, Carla, who is now living her life as a woman, but only since 2018. She was a
Spanish actress,
and she was an actor before that.
Right, correct.
So does she play both before transition and after, or does someone play her as a man?
I believe she's playing both, but heavy prosthetic makeup as the man.
Okay.
Because it's very odd looking, and I think, I'm not exactly sure, but I believe it's the same person. Honestly, you don't have to go far to make Carla Gascon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a couple of maybe a scar here or there. Anyway, and then she meets and the guy says, "I want to be a woman." And Zoe Saldana's like, "Well, what do you need me for? I'm a lawyer." And he goes, "Well, you get things done. I want you to get this done. And now you got to go find a place to do it because I can't do it anywhere. I'm too famous. I can't go to America. I can't do it here in Mexico. So find a place." And then the wife is Selena Gomez. She's the wife of the and she's good.
She's the wife of who?
She's the wife of the drug kingpin.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now, I mean, you got to suspend your disbelief a little bit because they send her, she's got 2 kids. They send Selena Gomez and the 2 kids off to Switzerland.
Okay.
Like, you got to get out of here. He's a drug kingpin. And she's watching the TV and she sees that he's been murdered.
Okay.
And she said, "Oh my God, he's murdered." She didn't any of this.
Okay.
Comes back as the woman.
And does
nobody knows?
But does the
Zoe
woman,
Saldana doesn't even know.
But does the woman still want to be with Selena Gomez now?
Well, yes. So here's where it turns into almost Mrs. Doubtfire. It turns into Mrs. Doubtfire for a little while. She goes, "I want my kids back, and I'm going to say I'm their aunt, and they're all going to come back."
Do you know that Caitlyn Jenner, in Linda Thompson's book, who was the mother of Brody and Brandon Jenner, married second wife, said she knew that Caitlyn, when Bruce wanted to be a woman, and at one point, she's like, "What are we going to tell the 2 little boys?" And Caitlyn said, "I could come back as Aunt Heather." Caitlyn originally wanted to choose the name Heather and be Aunt Heather and be able to see the kids. But they were no longer a couple, but to be in the kid's life.
But so the kids would believe that it was not even
so
Bruce
that she
anymore.
could be part, but she could be part of their life.
Well, that's, maybe Caitlyn had something to do with this script because that's what happens.
Okay.
They go back to Mexico, move into this gorgeous house in Mexico because this woman's very rich.
But Selena knows it's her husband.
No, she does not.
She thinks it's really the aunt.
Yeah, she thinks it's an aunt. And honestly, Zoe Saldana doesn't even know. At one point, Zoe Saldana's now living a good life. She's in London.
If anybody writes and says, I can't believe you ruined this for me, I don't care.
No.
Continue.
I'm ruining it. Yes,
I don't care.
I'm probably ruining it.
Tell me.
Anyway, so Zoe Saldana doesn't
You're
even know.
going to make people watch it, actually.
At one point,
now I want to watch it.
I'm saying there are some twists and turns that are pretty good.
So maybe don't tell all the twists and turns.
I won't.
Okay.
So Zoe Saldana doesn't even know. So she's living the good life now in London, and she doesn't know what became of this woman. She's got her money, and she's like, I did my job. And then she's sitting next to this woman. At one point, they start talking about their lives, and she goes, I'm blah, blah. And she goes, what? How did this happen? Like, I didn't know that was you. Anyway, now she goes, I want my kids back. I want Selena Gomez back. But I'm going to say that I'm their aunt and bring them back to Mexico, and they'll live with me as their aunt. So they do. And
so maybe absentee fathers, once they become women, actually become better parents.
Yeah.
That's really what
there's a couple of scenes where she's really loving to the kids.
Yeah.
And Zoe Saldana has to tell her, like, you can't be loving to them. You're not their dad anymore. So you're just creepy, weird aunt. Stop being that loving to them. And the music is funny because it's not even really a musical like where they're
like talking,
yeah,
singing,
they're like
singing.
I mean, it's not like Wicked where they're like numbers that you could you'd like to listen to.
Yeah,
it's just all of a sudden it'll be like, I want to be a woman. What? I want to be a woman.
Oh my God. My sister and I used to play musical all the time.
That's what it is. It's
like,
just like
we just make up stuff. Like if we had to like clean the kitchen or something, I'd be like, I'm done doing these dishes, sister. And then we would just like start doing that.
Well, you could have been in this movie because that's exactly what it is. I mean, I'm like, there was a scene like you just sang before. Yeah. There was a scene where she's trying to find Zoe Saldana trying to find the hospital to best do this. Yeah. And it's a full-on musical about how, do you want a penis? Do you want a vagina? Would you like a big ass? Or a small ass?
Silicone saline, you tell me. Teardrop, big boobs, flat as can be. Doesn't matter as long as you are a woman.
I mean, you're almost nailing it. You could have been in this movie.
Oh, okay. So we have that. But guess what? There's controversy with our actress, Carla. So not too long ago, she wrote some horrible tweets.
Well, it was like 2018, I heard.
That is not that long ago.
I know, but yeah, right. I mean,
we're not talking 2005, okay? We are talking, and I think Twitter came out around 2005. So it's in Spanish, and then it was translated. Yeah. And this girl, Ellen Pop Culture, she had the deets. And this is what Carla wrote in 2018. I truly believe that very few people ever cared about George Floyd. A drug addict, a hustler, but his death has served to highlight once again that there are those who still consider black people to be, I don't even want to say these things.
Yeah.
It's a bad George Floyd one.
And then there was a lot of like anti-Muslim stuff.
And then there's an anti-Muslim
too.
one. Here's another one. Sorry, is it just my impression or are there more and more Muslims in Spain? Every time I go to pick up my daughter from school, there are more women with their hair covered and their skirts down to their knees. Now, this is when she is now living as a woman, newly woman. So she's a part of a marginalized group, but judgy as any other bitchy woman can be about the carpool line.
Yeah.
Like she's really embracing being a woman. Why is everyone wearing Lululemons? That shows some decency. Yeah, like the same thing, but saying, why are all these Muslim moms at my school? Like they're not chicks I want to hang out with. So it just goes to show you that sometimes people just think because you are this person that you cannot be an asshole inside.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't change the inside of your asshole when you change sexes. They change your genitals.
Right.
But the inside of your asshole that makes you truly an asshole doesn't go away because you change genders. And
let's just say that that's not a medical fact, that the inside of your asshole is what makes you an asshole. It
doesn't. But I just came up with it, and I thought it was sort of profound.
Pretty good. It is pretty good.
Because you don't change your asshole when you change sexes medically.
But so anyway, it's another controversy that has to do with...
If you're full of shit, you're full of shit. I'm just going to do a million shit puns.
That's good too.
Go, yes.
Old tweets. If you remember, Kevin Hart a few years ago was supposed to host the Oscars. An old tweet came up, and he lost that. So now they're grappling with what to do with all this. And now they've decided, as of yesterday, the Oscars has said, I don't even think that. I
No,
don't think
Netflix said.
Netflix. Yeah, Netflix.
It's like, we're not going to pay for anything. No hair, no makeup, no flight from Spain.
Right.
No car service. You cannot go to, you're not invited to any of the pre-parties.
So now this week, I guess, is all a bunch of Q&As for Oscar stuff.
Right.
Everybody watches the movies. Everybody does Q&As. She's not invited to any of them. She can't come to any of them.
She can go to the Oscar because she is nominated.
But Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez do not want to be seen with her. They're like, no, I don't want any part of this.
Right. And so now if she goes, she like has to get her own dress, do her own hair and makeup, and which I do all the time. Invite me. You know, take a carpool lift.
Right. Yeah.
Get dropped off because they're not, and then get her ticket and go sit with everybody else.
Right.
You know, but here's my question, and maybe you don't know the answer. So when is the deadline for the voting? I mean, it's not like they already know. Like, what if she already won, right? It's a little bit later on they vote.
Well, that's one of those things where even if she already won,
like a mail-in thing.
You gotta like throw a couple of those in the garbage, would you please, and give it to Cynthia Erivo.
But what about the accountants that come out?
Yeah, with this briefcase. It's always chained to their wrist. Or
we're
something.
from Douglas Jones and Smith accounting firm, and we actually counted the votes.
The fact that they still do that is beyond me.
Do they still do that? That's so hilarious. I always remember that. But yes, so horrible for her community because she really could have been the heroine and all of wow, you're the first one and all this. And then just to go along with what's going on the rest of the world, it's just like the fucking cherry on the shit cake. Like, it's just kind of like, see? It's just not good. Well, it's so bad on like a million. And like these tweets, though they're horrible and they're specific. And it's how this person thinks.
Right.
Because it's not like, oh my God, I wrote this tweet, not that Twitter, 2 days after 9/11 when my 10 people I know died.
Right.
And I wrote this racist, awful thing. We didn't know who did it, but we heard it was this type of person. Okay. This is like I said, within the last 6 years, you've already seen people get canceled for tweets. You already were a acting celebrity with a check mark.
And knowing
what are you thinking?
Yeah, this is going to be around, like these are around forever. And these are long tweets. They're like you put thought into writing a paragraph. Right. It's not like it's a one-off joke or something. So
she's done.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, you got to kind of take her off the whole. She can't be Best Actress now. Put somebody else in. I don't know.
I don't know if you can do that.
I know, but it's the Oscars. Who gives a shit? There's no rule. It's not
what
real
they'll
rules.
do is when the person's saying the names.
Yeah.
It won't be on a photo or a person in the audience. It'll just be on who's ever doing it. The nominees are, and then they'll say, whatever, whatever, who's Demi Moore. They're going to show Demi Moore. And then when they say Carla Garcon, it'll be the person saying Carla Garcon. And then the next one, and it'll just be like, she won't get anything, no light at all.
Yeah, they'll just do the still picture
and then
they're going to tell her not to go.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they'll do a still picture. What I'm saying.
Really?
I think they'll just have the person saying it quickly, like in the middle.
Okay.
And then she won't win.
And then Demi Moore wins, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comeback story. Another quirky movie. Very quirky movie.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
Yes. So have you seen Baby Girl? Have you seen Baby Girl?
No.
Okay, it's available on Apple
now. Is that
now.
Nicole Kidman?
That's where she's like the 58-year-old executive, and she hires an intern who like
dances for her. And
also like tells her what to makes her like eat milk out of a cup and crawl on the ground.
What?
Yeah, it's all this weird stuff. I have to watch
it. That was like 9.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's available on Apple now, so now I have to see it.
Me too. I didn't know it was about that. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
The videos that I've seen about it, like all the clips on TikTok and stuff, are crazy. But then there's some really funny parodies too. So people say it's the worst movie they've ever seen. Yeah. People died. People were laughing in the audience at the movie theater, and it's very bizarre. I don't know that she's nominated, but now I have to see it because it's like, is this really that bad? Well, anytime you hear a movie when the new thing that what I always find interesting at the Cannes Film Festival, honestly, any film festival, what they do now is they time the standing ovation. They tell you how long it was. An 8-minute standing ovation for whatever movie or whatever actor got a 9-minute standing ovation. The longer you hear the standing ovation was, the worse the movie is. Because this one
got some 12-minute standing ovation, and then Joker 2 got like a 15-minute standing ovation.
Oh, and everyone hates that,
pretty much
including the people in it.
Yeah, I know.
Including Joaquin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even when we were at the Fire Aid, there was lots of moments to stand up, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I was doing it a lot. And then I was kind of like, is anyone going to know?
I know. No.
Like if I don't stand up?
Sometimes you got to.
But then I'm always like, oh, God, what if someone sees me? And they're like, Heather didn't stand up, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. February is the month of love, and there's nothing more that I love than treating myself to a comfortable bra. And luckily, today's Juicy Scoop episode is brought to you by Honeylove, the brand that's completely revolutionized the wireless bra. Why did we suffer so long with underwear bras? Probably because we didn't have Honeylove. I mean, so uncomfortable. And I'm saying like that awful bra that the minute you get home from work, you just like rip it off. You're like, maybe you're even taking it off in the car. I know I've had bras like that in the past where I'm sitting on the 405 and I'm like, get this uncomfortable thing off of me. I never feel that way now, which is, you know, good for the people that are driving on either side of me or not. They've got shapewear, tanks, and leggings that are just so great. Also, I love their best-selling Super Power Short. That is an absolute must-have. It sucks you in, lifts that booty, and more importantly, so comfortable and it doesn't roll down. So treat yourself to the most comfortable bra on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/juicy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/juicy. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support Juicy Scoop and tell them we sent you. Treat yourself to Honeylove because you deserve it. Did you hear about Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, former boyfriend of Larsa Pippen?
Yes.
From Miami, who was married with 4 kids to Scottie Pippen, who I guess Scottie Pippen and
played on the same team.
But they were like frenemies or enemies. Okay. Yeah. They dated for like 3 years. They started a podcast, which was featured on Real Housewives of Miami. About
Marcus Jordan and
Larsa, because they were such a great couple, even though they were like 18 years apart. And he has no kids and she's got 4. And I know this can be shocked, but this was another celebrity couple podcast that is, I believe, not around today.
I haven't heard about it.
Because they broke up.
Yeah.
And he got caught driving and he got his Lamborghini stuck on the train tracks.
Yeah.
And you saw the video too.
I did. I watched the video.
That was pretty amazing. And so he was arrested for a DUI.
I'll say this. In the videos, he seemed pretty sober. He kept saying, he
it wasn't
passed all
horrible.
the tests.
It wasn't horrible. I saw it too.
I know. And he was like, what more do you need me to do? You told me to walk the line. I walked the line back and forth. I counted. So it was interesting. I mean, of course I wasn't there. Maybe he smelled alcohol.
He says right away, I'm Michael Jordan's son. I'm Marcus Jordan. Michael Jordan's son. He's very nice to the cops. He has a little honey there who seems kind of fun and normal too.
Right.
And they came from a strip joint. I don't know if she was working or just came with him. They did say in the report I read that a white substance was found on him.
Yeah, I did hear that as well.
And but out of all the people that have been on Bravo Housewives,
right,
that have been arrested for intoxication, he definitely is the most lucid.
Oh man, absolutely.
Because there was a recent one on the Real Housewives of Potomac. This woman Karen, she got in a car accident. She was arrested for DUI and she pushed it. She said, "I'm not going to do a plea deal. I'm going to go to trial." And she went, and after 12 hours, they convicted her of a DUI. Oh. She's looking at 2 years of prison, so she did not go to the reunion.
Oh, no.
And she's, probably not going to come back on the show. So she might do some real time. But they released, after she was convicted, they released the cam footage of her.
She's wasted?
She's like talking in like riddles. She says that she was Thomas Jefferson's concubine.
Yeah, see that? You gotta arrest him for that.
And then, of course, wow. Shannon Bedore, who was at OC.
But that's more than just drinking.
She ran into a house and then left her car there and took her dog walking away, hoping like no one would know that she ran into a house. And we've never even seen her mugshot.
Oh, man.
And she just got picked to go on a Wives on the Waves. She replaced Jennifer Aiden on the cruise.
Oh, because Jennifer Aiden yelled at a girl from the sub shop. So just goes
the fans are fine with you being so drunk that you drive into a house and try to walk away with your dog, but not if you are bitchy to a Jersey Mike's person, and I have to agree. If you are bitchy to Jersey Mike's, you don't deserve to be on the cruise.
No,
but if you're sorry about being buzzed, fine. But I'm saying out of all the mug shots of like housewives and stuff, he did seem, he shouldn't have been driving. But I'm saying I agree with you in that if he has a really good attorney, I don't know about the substance though. That's
As an
bad.
old guy, driving in the dark is a pain. Like it's real. It is
He's
real.
not old, though.
Hey, I think he's getting there.
He's old.
He could be night blind.
Okay, but he's only like 34.
Oh, he is? I think
Yes,
he's a little
he's
older than
maybe
that.
even younger than that.
And he certainly doesn't look like Michael Jordan's son either. You know?
No.
You know, you wouldn't think, you think Michael Jordan's son, you're like, oh, this is going to be a guy who's 6'5" and looks like a basketball player. He doesn't look like that. So
No.
even the cop was probably like, are you Michael Jordan's son?
And then he's like, we've got 6 people here. Can't we help get my Lamborghini off the tracks?
Yeah.
So what happened? Did they get a tow truck? Like what if a train was coming? Like, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of freaked. They must have known that no train was coming. Otherwise, they would have been like freaking out, right?
Yeah.
So this girl, this is Scott Storch's ex named, she goes by Flojo.
Who's Scott Storch? She's like a music producer.
He is a music producer that like plays piano that like Dr. Dre kind of discovered. And so he's very successful. He's one of those guys that only wears sunglasses 24/7.
Oh, I like that.
And so, I always feel that's a little whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know if you have a retina problem, like what is going on.
Could be, yeah.
But I don't think so. So they had a kid together and she's, a typical girl with her lips and her body.
Got the face.
And I guess she was coming back from getting a body scrub.
She's got, I'm going to have a breakdown eventually face on TMZ.
So all we see is that somebody filmed her being horrible to a valet parker.
Yeah.
And she's screaming and she throws down her money and she goes, I'm rich, you're poor, give me back my change. And some guys
There was a
filming
lot more
her.
before that. A lot of.
So the film, what is she saying before that?
She calls him a wetback.
Oh, yeah. She
says you grabbed my ass. And he's just like, no, I didn't.
Right. No, she never says you grabbed my ass. She says that after.
After, yeah, right.
So you don't know, wherever they started to film, you don't know what has got her so angry.
Right.
But the guy's smart enough to film her because he's like, this chick is insane. So one of the valets filming her, the other valet's at the thing. He gives her change. She doesn't leave a tip, which is fine. And she then says, I'm rich, I'm poor. And then she goes up and she slams the phone out of his hand. And then that goes viral. And then she's seen doing some other interview where she says, somebody asks her, did he grab your ass? And she goes, no, he didn't grab my ass. But then the next day she's doing a selfie crying video in her car with no tears saying, all right, you win. You win.
Yeah.
I can't take it anymore. You're trying to ruin my life. I'm the most non-racist person I know.
You always have to say that one. You always have.
Fine, I apologize to the guy who grabbed my ass. I'm sorry. You're trying to ruin my life. And
it's pretty good.
So then I went down and I looked at all her stuff and like every photo is just her, perfect abbed, tanned body, taking selfies in the mirror of your body, laying down, taking, all that kind of stuff. Maybe one or two of the kid. Praising the ex-baby daddy, even though they're no longer together.
Oh, good.
And, but she's a nightmare. And I'm just saying these are the things where you're like, no, that's you. Just like Jennifer Aiden with the Jersey Mikes.
There happened to be a phone out during this time, but this woman and Jennifer Aiden, same thing. They've done this countless times to every Target cashier or whoever is, in their world considered under them
like,
or whatever.
Why are you so angry? You just got a scrub. Wasn't that relaxing, like a body scrub? Like,
exactly.
What are you angry about?
I know.
And so I brought up a while ago when I talked about the Jennifer Aiden with the Jersey Mikes, the girl that worked for ESPN that got mad at the tow truck lady.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
So anyway, I talked about it. I'm like, where is that girl today? What's she doing? So someone let me know. She's, 10 years older or whatever. She has like a decent like YouTube, whatever following.
Oh.
And someone sent me the link when she went through and she talked all about it.
Really?
And she says that this particular tow truck place was known for like taking your car in places that are okay to park at.
Right.
And she parked at an okay place. She had a couple drinks, but she wasn't wasted. And she was just really pissed because she was like, this is a scam. This is a scam, and you should be ashamed of yourself that you're working at a scam place, not you should be ashamed of yourself because you work at a tow truck place. But like, this is, and that was her story.
Well,
so I just wanted to tell that side because I talked about it before, but yeah.
I love the fact that these valets now, because there's been several people going off on valets. They must be trained now to keep their cool, whip that phone out, and they keep talking, like, say more, keep going.
Yes.
It's pretty great. I mean, both the valet guys are just very cool about this whole thing. They're like, I got it. You're rich. I'm
and he
poor.
goes, you're soulless.
Yeah, soulless. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice moment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Charlie Sheen and is going to be part of Denise Richards' new show.
Oh, good.
And one of the girls is big on OnlyFans, and one of the daughters is a super Christian.
Oh, perfect. Well,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a perfect show.
Yeah.
That's on E!
And what does he mean by he's going to be a part of?
I think we're going to see him a little bit. Like but I don't know that he's making money off of it, but I think he makes some appearance. They show him getting a facelift.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that
so
he got
I guess he'll be part of it. Yeah. So then this was crazy. This girl, who is a New York woman, went to Pakistan. She's like 35.
Mm-hmm.
She met a 19-year-old. And she went to Pakistan, and now she is doing these things that have gone viral where she's like, this country sucks.
Yeah.
And I need $100,000, and I'm going to fix your country.
Yeah.
I don't even know what she's really asking for.
You got to watch the videos. It's
insane. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
It's hilarious.
And these people are standing behind her.
Yeah.
And they're like, how did this woman from New York just like hijack the whole country? And like, she's holding these people hostage. Like, what's happening?
And this is like, they're like, I don't know, women aren't supposed to speak. And she's like, shut up. You talk too much. It's pretty wild.
This other favorite story from a few weeks ago that I just kept wanting to get to was a woman who said she fell into a trap. She fell into a scam that she's a wealthy divorcee, and she gave over $700,000 to a man who claimed that he was Brad Pitt, who was in love with her, who found her online, but had to get some medical stuff. And I guess because his horrible bitch ex-wife,
Angelina Jolie's not giving him anything,
is holding the winery hostage in our divorce, and therefore I can't have these surgeries. I assume he probably said nobody can know about it, but they photoshopped himself.
He had a couple AI pictures that don't look real at all.
No, they're not even AI. They're like Canva from 5 years ago.
They are.
Like Photoshop. And so she sent all her money. And of course, it wasn't him. And, but it just like, he just used a typical thing. He just was like, I found you. I had a friend, and she, all of a sudden, we were all hanging out, and she's an attractive girl. And she goes, you guys, Russell Crowe just DM'd me.
Yeah.
And I was like, and for a second, this is like 6 years ago, I was like, I don't know, like, she's not a famous person, but she's attractive. Like, what if somehow he like came across it? And then we look, and of course, it's a fake
Russell Crowe. Or something.
They just throw out a huge net to anyone. I get them too. I get them from like women. I get them from all weird stuff. Like, oh hey you, like just too. Thinking I'm like a lonely thing.
There's a new scam now they do. Hey, you're so cute. Don't write me here. Write me at my other whatever, Instagram account or something.
I don't touch anything like
me
a text.
neither. I'm
no. I got, we have a UPS package of yours, but you wrote the wrong zip code. I'm like,
no, everything's a scam.
Yeah, it's so, you have to be so careful, like, no matter what. I remember someone was doing a scam with me, and I was like, wait, are you single? I'm so lonely. And then the guy hung up and called me on a different line from India to like start to pursue me that way. He gave up the original scam. Oh, I was tricking him back.
Oh, look at you. Wow. Yeah, and the other thing I hear when they do this is they don't ask for cash necessarily. A lot of them ask for gift cards, He's like, listen, I'm Brad Pitt and I need $300 in Applebee's gift card. What?
Why do you sound Nigerian? I'm working on a film. Like, what have you done?
I'm playing a character. I mean, I don't know how people could possibly fall for any of this. It's shocking to me.
Listen, if the ship has sailed, ladies, just find a friend. Just find a girlfriend and just go on a cruise with a bunch of other ladies.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
spend your money that way. It's not worth it. Okay. Let's just catch up a little bit on the Blake and Ryan situation. What is your perspective? They have the trial date set for March 26th. He set up the website with all of his information.
Yeah.
He's fighting back. He's lost 3 jobs, Justin. Baldoni lost 3 jobs that he was set to do when the New York Times article dropped, which was about the lawsuit. And what I realized is that, you can say whatever you want in a lawsuit. And then if people report on that lawsuit, it's not defamation.
Right.
Because it's in a lawsuit and they're referring to a lawsuit. So you can say this person sexually assaulted me, this person did all this stuff, and New York Times can report on it. They're saying the reason he's suing New York Times for $250 million for defamation is because they did an amended thing and they found out from internet sleuths that they believe that they had the material back in October. They noticed metadata, like they noticed like a date. So was New York Times working in cahoots, in collusion with Ryan and Blake a couple months prior to set the stage to really take him down once they report on this lawsuit that they just received the day before? Like, how long were they working on it? They say that's not true. They say, no, that's like a Google mistake or something.
The New York Times.
New York Times also were the first to take down, Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Rowan Farrow is very good friends with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is very good friends with Blake.
Okay.
As of a while ago, we don't know how they are now. And that's where Blake said, "Oh, my 2 dragons that helped me rewrite this roof
Rowan Farrow's one of the dragons?
No, just Taylor.
Oh.
And Ryan." So we're seeing all the elites connect, as someone would think, of like all the power of just picking up a phone. William Morris also dropped him right when this article dropped about all the things that he did wrong on the film. He's showing all the things. The latest flirty text. Did you see the latest flirty text?
I mean, I keep up. Here's the thing, and I don't, and not to ruin all the fun here, because it is fun, but it is shocking to me. That we even really, like, who gave a shit about Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni? You know what I mean? And really, we kind of still don't, but it is a fun story. Like, the movie certainly wasn't a big hit or anything.
It was a big hit.
Well, not really.
300 million to now.
300 million where? Never.
Yes, that's fact.
Really?
I was shocked too.
Well, I'd be shocked if it made $300 million.
Then be shocked.
Worldwide?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's a crazy number. But I could be wrong.
So that's the thing. He has the rights to the second one.
Yeah.
Justin found Colleen Hoover, the writer.
Right. I know it's a big book
back in 2018. He found her. They worked on developing it for 4 years before they cast Blake.
Right.
Who is very different than the character in the book. The character in the book is in her early 20s.
Okay.
So, but they picked Blake knowing that she is a big box office draw.
Yeah.
And all of that. So the other idea is he has the rights to the second book, which is It Starts With Us. And with a $300 million movie, there's this second one's going to go.
Right.
So the whole thing is, did they go after him as something saying that there was sexual harassment and stuff, because then that would break the morality clause.
Okay.
And therefore you could lose the rights to something because you were morally corrupt or whatever.
All right.
So was that the case, or was he just going to fold and give it up? But he was like, no, he hired the same people that PR people that helped Johnny Depp. And he's like, fuck this. And has brought out all the things, which that part is fun. The voice note.
Yeah. The voice
There's some fun things to make fun of.
The fake Ryan Reynolds paparazzi stunt. That one's my favorite.
That was incredible. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my God. And, people brought it to my attention, and I don't know who did. But then I was like, you guys have to go look it up and see it. Because it was all these people that took photos, and they all using the same masking tape and everything.
Like the blue painting tape is on every
single one, and they're like on boards for him to easily sign, not just like a piece of paper. So it makes it quick and easy. Like it was so planned out.
And also, somebody pointed out, nobody's got any cameras.
Very like two.
Yeah.
No one's asking him. Tell me, what do you think of Justin Baldoni? No one's asking. They're just normal fans that clearly were paid, and then they're all asking him to sign with the same marker. So they bought a bag of markers, like Sharpies or whatever. And like he doesn't have a movie to promote. There's nothing. And then they went out the other night and they're smiling, doing selfies, Blake and he. And so it was, she, let me show you. So, in this one, this video, this comes from originally, people are pulling up videos, and this comes from, Without a Crystal Ball. She's doing an interview with Colleen, the author, with all super fans of the book. And she says, the studio only wants us to show you 20% or 20 minutes of the cut. But it's my cut, and I don't give a fuck, and I'm going to show you guys the whole movie.
Oh.
And all the fans cheer.
Yeah.
She's like, I smuggled it on the plane in a hard drive. So when he says you kidnapped the movie, you took it for yourself, you insisted that it be your cut, you rewrote this rooftop scene with Taylor Swift and Ryan, like he is right. Like she's admitting it right here.
Yeah.
She wasn't supposed to do that. She wasn't supposed to show a bunch of fans the movie before it came out. And so it's like she just doesn't care. And then, also what interesting is Justin Baldoni had a podcast about feminism with this girl, Liz Plank.
Okay.
And the day that the New York Times, everything, she dumped him right away. Boop.
Liz Plank did.
Left.
Part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was interesting. Like, because now everybody is team Justin. Now we all see it for what it was. I didn't know. I read the highlights of the article. I was like, maybe he was a creeper. Maybe he did do a smear campaign, because I remember hearing she was a bitch.
Right.
But then her going and trying to like really nail it to him. And then the other part is, about Nice Pool. So Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds' movie. Yeah. There is a character in the last film.
I saw it.
Called Nice Pool.
The guy with the longer hair.
So he's making fun of Justin Baldoni.
Oh.
He says, I have a podcast about feminism. He says all these things. He gets killed in front of a flower shop, which she worked at a flower shop in this. There's all these cross references. Like it's incredible. Like there's no doubt they're making fun of him.
Yeah.
In the movie, Nice Pool is played by Ryan Reynolds, but in the credits of Nice Pool, it says Nice Pool played by Jordan Reynolds. Okay. Oh. In Blake Lively's "Thank You" at the end of the movie. Hold on,
I need a pencil.
No, but listen. Okay. In Blake Lively's "Thank You," she says, "Thank you, Gordon Reynolds." So she knew. They planned it out because the two movies came out at the same time. So they were already annoyed with him. Yeah. Ryan and her were already annoyed with Justin. Ryan took it a step further, added a scene, added a character to make fun of Justin. Right. It's basically an Easter egg, a Taylor Swift Easter egg, where you're like, oh my God, but only recently did people figure that out. Okay. And so the timeline is that they started working on the movie. The thought is she was flirty with him. Okay. She's been with Ryan for 10 years. Yeah, like because it seems like in some of the texts I've been seeing, are they fucking or not? Like who calls at 2:00 in the morning? And well, she had texted him at 1:44 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. Who does that?
Well, they were working on the script, and she sent the rewrite, and he was like, okay, cool, or like whatever. And she was like, wow, I really thought I'd get more of a response from you, da-da-da. So then he left a voice note so that it wouldn't be misinterpreted, and she could hear that he really feels badly, that he didn't give her more credit for taking the time to do this. He's placating her. He might have thought he doesn't know that she's going to totally take over at this point. He still thinks, okay, let's work together. I have a huge star to make this a huge movie. Right. And so he's still trying. He goes to her house and is with the baby, meets the baby and everything. Now,
they have her and Ryan Reynolds have
4 kids.
4 kids.
Like they had a lot of kids, but they met on Green Lantern while he was married to Scarlett Johansson. Right. And
I've been saying on my podcast, I would just
yes.
like everyone to know on cover to cover.
Yes.
I've been saying Ryan Reynolds is annoying for years. I say it on the podcast. I say, keep an eye on this guy. He's teetering on annoying. Just his commercials for Mint Mobile and all of it.
I don't victim shame. I don't want to victim shame. Yeah.
Lot of self-tanner, too sticky, always doing bits.
He thinks he's so funny.
Yeah. So anyway,
well,
it's
on my show, I don't know if you noticed this thing, but I came up with that she was wearing the jean onesie that every comedian wears.
Yes.
And she did her own wardrobe. And she wants to be funny, just like Ryan thinks he's so funny. And I think she was consciously or subconsciously influenced by all the female comedians that were wearing the one junsey, men and women.
The mechanic outfit.
The mechanic outfit to wear that in the rooftop scene because she wants to be funny in that scene. Okay, here, Blake fell in love with her co-star on Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. This has come from Pop Diaries 360. Then she fell in love with Penn Badgley of Gossip Girl. Then she was with Leonardo DiCaprio on The Great Gatsby.
Oh.
Then she was with Ryan Reynolds. So would it be possible that she caught feelings for Justin?
I mean, that's kind of the vibe I get, but I don't know anything. But
and she's like, yes. And so then she... But when you read the latest text that he has now put out there too.
Something about no teeth or something.
Yes. So she's like, oh, I'm flirty and fun. This is who I am. I'm ballsy or something. And she's like, no teeth, of course.
Yeah.
And like, I'm bummed I don't have her in front of me, but I'm like, isn't no teeth the universal for like, I'll suck your dick
That's
without
what
teeth?
I thought. But it also, maybe it's another thing like no teeth, like I'm not, like a growling or something. I don't. Yeah, I went right to blowjob. That's what everybody did. Yeah,
she's hinting. She's like, supposedly she got together with Ben Affleck too on The Town.
Oh yeah,
when he was with Jennifer Garner.
Is she in all these movies?
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen a Blake live. I saw the one where she was with the shark. Did she? I
think she's fun to watch on screen.
Did she fuck that shark? She was in a shark movie. It's just her and a shark. She's hanging onto a buoy the whole movie, and the shark is chasing her around. It's a pretty good movie. I
think she is fun to watch. I loved her in The Simple Favor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she is a good actress. I don't know. I think she is in a marriage where like she's kind of stuck in it with him,
right? With
Ryan, but they are a team. The only way that they can both recover from this nightmare. First of all, he's suing them for $400 million. The date is not till March 26th.
Okay.
I think this is going to go the distance.
Right.
I don't think anyone's going to fold. They're getting so much bad press.
So what now? What do you do?
I mean, I don't know.
How do you fix it?
We can't talk about it till March 26th. So it has to like die down at a certain point.
Well, here's the funny thing about this, which I find shocking, because I'm up on this story and I don't really, this is not something I really care, but it is fun to, I just see the headlines constantly on my phone.
Yeah.
And usually when you're in a position like this, I would imagine like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are probably like, can something fucking happen here so this goes away? And then here come the fires in LA. Normally that would sweep this stuff right away. And it just doesn't. And then here comes that plane crash, and here's another one. And it just keeps coming back. And they're like, what do we have to do to get rid of this story?
That's what's crazy that they went for it. But I think he thought that she caught feelings.
Yeah.
I don't think anything happened.
Right.
I don't think anybody cheated, but I think she was fishing. Just like I remember there'd be guys at the school that would kind of flirt with all the moms, and someone might take it, and I think she was fishing to see what he would do. When it didn't happen, or maybe before it happened, Ryan then was on set because he had like a break. I think he read the text somehow on the kid's iPad or something, confronted her because there's stories that people heard him confronting her in the trailer. I don't know if that's true. Confronted her about it. And then from there, she was like, I don't even want him. Look, he's the one that's been kissing my neck, acting this. And he's like, screw this guy. I fucking hate this guy. So then he writes the nice pool thing. They make fun of him, all this stuff.
Right.
Then the movie comes out and he's on in a different room with the Waters and by himself. And she's doing this. And she gets bad press. Things come out that she's a bitch. But we forgot about it. Mm-hmm. We forgot about that she was a bitch. Who cares? But in the interim of the premiere and her thinking my career's over because she's on the Reddits and reading shit about herself, then they go, oh, fuck this guy. We're gonna tell it all. And in the process, we're gonna get the sequel back.
Yeah.
So they put it out there with the New York Times, but they thought he would just crawl under a rock and die. And he's like, no. And when he brings all the receipts and all of us get into it, they're done. They're like, the only way they're going to save themselves is if they break up. If she says, I didn't want to do all this stuff, he forced me to do it.
Right.
Or he's like, she's a crazy whatever. But if they want to stay together forever till the day they died,
right, they
just have to stay together and
She can only make movies with Paul Giamatti from here out.
Right. Yeah. And then they just have to go away, or I don't know. This is bad. I'm kind of shocked that they have the ability to go out and like smile and stuff, but maybe they just are those people that are kind of soulless. Like maybe they just like are like, whatever. I saw him stand up. Hugh Jackman did this performance at Radio City Music Hall. And it's like Hugh Jackman show. And I know it was a bit that they had planned. But I was like, and then Ryan stands up and does a whole shtick from the audience with Hugh Jackman. And I'm like, just stay home. Like, they got 4 kids. Does anybody ever stay home? Nobody stays home. Yeah.
Like, it's out every night, just doing fake paparazzis.
Well, I didn't understand why he was such a big part of the press for Ryan for the and it was I was talking to Zach Peter, and he said that is because both the movies came out, Deadpool and It Ends With Us at the same time, that they were trying to make it like Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah,
that was the plan. So it was like, because I was like, why is he like here and interviewing the star? Like, what does he have to do? So trying to get all the press, which, that made the money. Like, people went to go see it.
Right.
They didn't, it was kind of after that, the trickling of like that she is a bitchy person. And she said something about one of her co-stars from Gossip Girl, Leister. Wait, what's her name?
Leighton Meester?
Yeah, that girl?
Leighton Meester.
There's another video of them like doing a panel, and she's like, well, it's not like we were born in cages. Well, one of us was. And her mom had her in prison. Her co-star, who's sitting right next to her.
Wait, Leighton Meester's mom had her in prison?
Had her in prison.
Oh, I wouldn't have. What do I know? But yeah. Oh, okay.
And she knew that and said it. Well, one of us was born in a cage.
Hey,
I was like, it's shocking the things that are being pulled up. Like, it wouldn't be the
first time an attractive girl who's had a career since childhood is a bitch. Like, this is nothing new. Right.
But it's like, there's no way, like, it's very weird. And that she always talks and it always brings it back to like one, she pushed her hair care that nobody wanted. Oh, this was the other thing. This other girl comes and she's got beautiful curls and she's pushing her hair care.
Oh, does she have a hair care line?
Blake was, yeah. And it's just a dry shampoo or whatever. And she goes, this is what I like. And her hair looks horrible throughout the movie. I don't know if it's a wig or what, but it's this big wild mess along with her horrible outfits. And so she like starts like fix this girl's hair. And all the comments are like, you ruined her hair. Like, she's like, and this is what I like. I just like, she's just like, see? And I like to separate your curls. And the girl's like, thanks. I love it. Like, is this, wow. And everyone's like, oh my God, look at her before. And then I start the video before and it was like coiffed and like lovely.
Oh, no.
So yeah, she's just that girl that like, I don't know. We'll see. But I think now it's going to die. It's going to die down a little bit now because everything's out on the website. That's out there. So now once we're done talking about everything on that, which we're getting there, and the judge said no more like interviews and stuff to like the attorneys, and so maybe it will die down a little bit. But I think it's really interesting because it just shows like a movie making in a way that even people that are in the industry didn't really know was like that.
Right.
Like covert and ugly. I don't know if this has happened a lot or if this is a rare occasion.
I don't know either, but it's all very fascinating to me then.
I'm going to just add on something funny.
Oh.
I came across a really horrible movie called Hollywood High. It's on Amazon Prime. I talked about it. It was basically a porn. And I couldn't believe Amazon Prime.
Newer or older?
From 1976.
Oh, yeah.
And so people have been sending me other awful movies from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, man.
This was a made
go on for days.
I've talked about Angel, the teenage hooker that goes to like a private school.
Yeah.
There was another one ABC Monday Night Movie off the Minnesota Strip. It's another teenager that's just turning tricks.
Turning tricks.
Tricks.
That was a big plot line back in that.
I was like
hookers.
obsessed with being a hooker.
Everyone
I wanted to be a street hooker. I wanted to wear the outfits. I didn't want to do anything with anybody. I wanted to walk up and down the streets as a hooker. I was a hooker for third grade Halloween, and we're a hooker on roller skates. So like way before Boogie Nights, I thought of that look. So that was one. This Jeffrey Mixed is so funny.
Mayor Winningham. She was in San Elmo's Fire, which I hear they're making a sequel to, according to Rob Lowe. Going to be doing San Elmo's Fire 2.
I don't know this. I don't know if she's the lead in this. Anyway, this one is also coming from Heartthrob Anderson.
Oh, this movie is shocking.
This guy's video about it.
It's unbelievable.
It's called The Toy. It was with Richard Pryor.
There's a Klan rally in this movie. There is a Klan.
A kid buys a black band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He walks us through the movie, this guy, Heartthrob Anderson.
Yeah.
And I kind of remember, but it wasn't a movie. Like I was already too old to go see this movie. Like it was like, I thought it was like a kid movie or something. Like I never wanted to go see. And I guess at the end of the movie, he gets sold again to another rich kid.
Yeah. There's a lot of, he comes to Jackie Gleason's house, because the kid buys it.
He's a rich
He's
guy.
The toy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like people walking into the house and being frightened by Richard Pryor.
I mean, I cannot believe it. Like that this was only like 40 years ago. Like, so he goes to the toy store and he doesn't want any. They go, buy, you could have anything you want. And the kid sees Richard Pryor, who is playing a janitor. And he goes, that's who I want. And they go, look, I'll give you this much money. But they actually put him in a box to have him be unwrapped.
Well, why wouldn't they? I
just want to know, like, how in all the Richard Pryor like documentaries and stuff, is there anybody that's just like, yeah, Richard just took the money and was like, whatever. Or Richard thought it was funny, or Richard didn't see the harm in it. Or what the fuck was it?
Right. I mean, there's Richard Pryor. There's just different times, I mean, look at the one with him and Gene Wilder. Like Gene Wilder goes full blackface in one of them. I think it's Silver Streak or and just hey, jive turkey, and that whole shtick.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even talking about it's probably getting me in trouble, but I'm not. It's part of embarrassing.
I like this guy's video. Look, it's my name.
Franjola. So you saw it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Chris, I love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It was always a pleasure.
And then, of course, cover to cover.
March 14th and 15th, Detroit House of Comedy, March 14th and 15th. And then Houston Punchline, March 16th, Sunday night.
Fun.
Those are on franjola.fun, as are the Valentine's shows and all the fun stuff. What else? Did you see the video, which I wanted to discuss with you, of Babyface being interviewed on the red carpet at the Grammys?
Oh, and then the person ran away to talk to Sheppel?
No, he didn't run away, just like yelled over.
In the middle, mid-sentence?
Yeah, mid-sentence. The poor guy, and listen, he's an old guy who's doing...
He's not that old.
No, but he's telling a boring conversation.
Oh, okay.
It's a boring conversation.
Oh, it was boring.
Yeah. And Chappell Roan goes walking behind him, and the two girls just start yelling, Chappell, Chappell. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. You want her? And they go, yeah. And they like push Babyface, who's kind of like a music legend, out of the way. And people are like freaking out. I mean, but sometimes you got to cut off the old man. You know what I mean?
Sometimes we realize, oh, we're old. Like a 25-year-old. Like I remember my mom would always be like, how do you not know who so-and-so is? And I'd be like, because I don't.
Right.
Like I get when I bring up stuff, and now I try to be like, are you, I try to give people like, some respect in me, like, are you aware of who this person is? Because why would you? If you're 25 years younger than me, you might not know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I was a full-blown adult 25 years ago. Like, but still, it just goes to show you they're rude.
Sometimes you just gotta.
They're rude.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was very interesting.
Of course, HeatherBridgell.net. Come see me in New York, D.C., and Red Bank, New Jersey. And then also March 1st, I'll be at Agua Caliente in Palm Springs.
That's going to be a fun East Coast trip in the winter. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 degrees. I'm going to have fun. I'm with Andrea Lopez and Anna Roisman, who do really funny.
I like that girl, Andrea Lopez.
They do really funny impressions,
funny.
but they're stand-ups too. They're just really funny. And Drake's coming too, my son.
Yeah.
So he's never been to New York.
Okay.
I told him he has got to order some cuter clothes. Look like a little. I want him to look like I'm looking for a man in finance. 6'5".
Look like
blue
Barron.
eyes.
Dress him like Barron Trump. That would be nice. People love that guy.
I I'm gonna.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Bye.